I don't know, 3 people joined. They already saw the hint. You're watching late. You already saw the hint. Oh, man, I messed up. But that's okay. You mess up sometimes. It's good to be wrong. It's good to mess up. When you mess up, people know you're human. And I think that's why people, they watch live streams to begin with, because they want to see somebody mess up. They want to see someone trip and fall. You know, someone goes on camera, they forget they got a little boogie hanging out the nose or something. Oh, that reminds me of something I won't even say. I'm just not even gonna go there. Let's just say a long time ago, I went on a date, and some people will let you know when you go out that you're not appropriate. You got something hanging out your nose at dinner time. Clean your nose. This person just they didn't feel the need to warn me of this, but sat there halfway through dinner, just wouldn't tell me that I had something swinging in and out my nose. Every time I breathe, it would swing out. It would swing back. All right, I'm not going there. I'm just, oh man. Traumatic, y'all, traumatic. It's traumatic growing up in America. It's traumatic. But I was thinking about something this morning. You know what? I'm sorry. I think the other day I ran off and I started running and talking about stuff for too soon. Gotta know when to celebrate. Yo, it's Friday. It is Friday. All day today. We get to feel like we free. We is free, y'all. Y'all can say it with me. We is free. Monday through Thursday, I'm just like, give us free. Y'all remember the brother from, what was that, Amistad? Give us free. We free. We want to be free. We not. It's Friday. We feel free. Y'all just get to run from the cotton gin, run out, tell the boss, talk about his mama, get your cup, get your bags, you run on out, get your lunch bags, and don't talk about him too much, because Monday you got to go back. Some of us done got used to eating food and drinking water, having houses and stuff. The stuff that we take from everybody else all over the world. But we gonna got used to. But you know, we gonna get our act together, y'all. That's what we gonna do. We gonna get our act together, because the road to crazy town has got to be sunny. Has to be sunny. Otherwise, we wouldn't go, right? If America, if the West, Britain, all the rest of us, if we look like Yemen, if we look like the Congo, if we look like the Gaza Strip, we would say, hell no, I ain't going over there. Hell no. We shut that mess down in a minute. We free all our brothers and sisters over there. But the road to crazy town can't look that way, right? Because in the West, we're the ones who are like perpetuating it. We're the ones buying these cell phones, sending those little kids down in those mines to get all the stuff for our cell phones, pretending we don't like slavery, pretending that we got something against the South and the whole cotton trade while we're all involved in it today. But that's why I like to talk about the truth. I love the truth, and I love to listen to people who say the truth. Brother Corbett had a great video. I think it was it yesterday. I want y'all to watch that. I posted it. Brother just slamming it out. Corbett and the other brother on his video, they were just slamming out some truth. I'm gonna talk about a little bit of it. We're gonna get into it, but the road, what is it? We say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? You know, if you want to give your dog a synthetic drug, something that'll just screw him up, because the vet sometimes is chemical doctoring as a doctor. You know, you gotta put it in a peanut. We used to put in peanut butter, right? Take that poison, that little synthetic drug that most of y'all eat every damn day, and call it headache medicine or something. Put it in the peanut in the peanut butter to give it to the dog. Why did you have to do that? Because the dog ain't dumb as humans. The dog won't take a synthetic drug. He put it in his mouth. That's poison, you idiot. He spit it out. I had an Akita, beautiful dog, beautiful dog. And I had Siberian Husky. We had to do that with them too. But the dog ain't dumb as humans. So what you do, you got to pave that road sunny. You got to make it sunny. You got to take some sugars and some peanut butter and put the synthetic drug in there. Otherwise, the dog ain't going to take it. You know, but it always starts sunny. It starts sunny, doesn't it? You know, and maybe the synthetic drug does something. I don't know. Maybe it makes your headache go away. Probably not faster than just drinking some damn water. But did you know 99% of all headaches are just lack of hydration? Drink some water. But anyway, it always starts sunny, because that's how you take the animals to slaughter. You know, I was looking at these pictures. Yeah, because we all had the vegan friends. I'm vegetarian. I wish I could be vegan. So don't be mad at me what I'm going to say next. But I wish I could be vegan. I'm not. I'm probably 40%. You know, I know I'm bad, but eggs and cheese got me, man. I'm doing the best I can, though. I don't drink dairy milk, nothing like that. But one of my vegan friends posted a picture, and they showed the cows how when they, you know, their head goes through these little triangle trough type or triangle bars where they drink out of the trough and they eat out of it, and it gets them used to just eating. So anytime they see the bars, it's time to go eat. It's no big deal. We just go over here and eat, you know. And then they design the slaughter bars to look the same way, the same little triangle. So they walk into the slaughterhouse like, oh, okay, it's sunny. You know, we're going to walk, put the head right through it, and they look in the trough, and all they see is blood. Why is it blood down there? What the hell? And all of a sudden this saw comes along and just cuts them off. That's not what you don't want. But this is how it starts, America, rest of y'all, some of y'all in China and other places that still doing kind of good. It starts this way. Doesn't end that way. You know how it ends. It's going to be a lot of screaming and crying and yelling and screaming later. But by the time the driver look like that, you're going to be in trouble. I know I ain't been in the crazy car a little bit. You look at her face. I love looking at her face. Like, look at her. She crazy as all hell. Look at it like, oh, damn it. And so this car ain't going nowhere good. This car, but we are in this car. It don't look like this. We see sunshine in Yemen and Africa and South America, Puerto Rico, all the rest of them. Sometimes in the poor ghettos in America, in the poor places in the Appalachian Mountains in Alabama, it looked like this already. And they know like, yo, y'all done screwed up. I don't know why y'all still voting for these people. Y'all done messed up, you know. I don't want to talk about gun control. We talked about that 2-3 days now, but I guess they're still talking about it in the media. I just don't think you should go to crazy people and ask sane questions. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I think I was probably 4 a.m. in the morning. I got up, I had to water my plants, and I know. That's why the deep state, they probably don't watch me. They like, this idiot getting up 4 o'clock in the morning. Why the hell would he water plants at 4 o'clock? His cell phone is active, got the light on, he's watering plants. I thought he was making bombs or something. So I got to water my plants, man. Why you water plants? Because they dry. What's 4 a.m. got to do with anything? 4 a.m. ain't got to do with nothing. If something needs something, you give it to it, dummy. Like in Yemen, they need water and food, dummy. Gaza, they need electricity. Just give it to them. Don't matter what time in the morning it is. Silly fool. Silly rabbit tricks are for kids. That's what I'm saying. If somebody needs something, you give it to them. You know, which is why I'm saying the whole gun control. Listen, I'm for it. Like I've always said, I'm for no guns, no murder technology anywhere on the planet. I don't like no tanks, airplanes. I think it's interesting technology, but I don't think we should make technology to kill people. But going to crazy people and having a protest where you lay down and you march in the streets and you got these pretty little chants and save lives, these people don't care. They're crazy. Look at her eye. Did she like she cared? Did she, what did Ty say? Ty said, oh my God, I had to watch that video twice. It was so deep. Ty said, they don't care how you die. They don't. These people are murdering people all over the planet before breakfast. They kill more people all over the planet before breakfast than any other country does all day, probably all week, all month. Do you actually think your legislators care how you die? They don't. And they're not going to take the guns off the street. Why? Because they need them on the street. They need you scared. Why? But they want you to fight about it. Why do they want? And plus they know they can't take the guns anyway. The Second Amendment, they'll start a revolution. That's how the Constitution's designed. If you take the guns, that's a violent act. It's a warlike act. The people's supposed to shoot back. That's a revolution. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. You know, it's like Trump and oh my God, what is this thing? He done followed in the footsteps of Obama. I'm really trying. I try so hard to get a guy a chance, but he done did what Obama did. He done did what Bush did and Clinton did. What did he say? He said, well, it's not him. It's something, people run this country that we don't know. We don't get to know who they are, but they're talking about a bloody nose strike on North Korea. A bloody nose preemptive strike on North Korea. You know what? When I was a kid, I used to get bloody noses all the time. And it ain't gonna look nothing like what striking North Korea is gonna look like. Let's here's the real side of it. If you do a bloody nose strike on North Korea, it will end in World War III, as it should. That is an act of war. They got nukes and they will fire back. Americans won't have any idea. Like 3 a.m. comes, you all sleep, all nice in the bed. Oh, let's go to Happy Town. We go to Happy Town. We're Happy Town, just going to sleep. You know, got that forest music playing. Some of y'all played a little waterfall, you know, on your smartphones and Made in the Congo. Go to sleep. It just feel good. And you wake up, it's gonna be the lights just gonna be out. You're gonna wake up like, oh, what the hell? Why are the lights out? Baby, you pay the bill. Lights gonna be out. It's gonna be World War III, because that's what they're supposed to do. Which is why I'm not for violent gun control. I'm not for any violent solutions at all. I'm for peaceful gun control. I'm for, you know, you make some incentive. If you want to get some guns off the street, you do it in a peaceful way where, you know, people voluntarily give them up, but not in no violent way with legislation, because they're supposed to shoot back. That's how the Constitution, that's why the Constitution is written the way it is, because they don't want you taking the guns from the poor people, because back then they were smarter than we are now. They knew that the rich people always kill the poor people. Always happens. All right, I'm done. I don't want to talk about gun control. I don't want to talk about it. For me, it's not a debate about gun control. For me, it's always a debate about, do you have peaceful ideas, or are you like the crazy people driving this damn car? The crazy people driving this world? Do you have violent ideas? And if you have violent ideas, listen, I love you to death. Like I said, I appreciate the passion of the kids coming out. I was protesting. I was organizing protesting when I was 22. So I get it. I love it. But you got to focus those kids in the right direction. You can't focus them down the violent route, because that is always what the rich want. They want 0.1%. All right. So I'm done with that one. Don't go there. Who we got this morning? Am I talking to myself? I get on this thing. I get to ranting. We got a couple people in the house this morning. Who got up this morning going to the plantation? Some of y'all skipping the plantation. You just woke up and said, I ain't getting my bag this morning. I ain't picking no damn cotton. Went back to sleep. Boy, you better hope that whip don't find you. All right, who we got? Lena's in the house, and Mary, good morning. Woo, what's up, brother Steven, Gabrielle, and Jules, and Cindy, and Diane, and who we got? Brother Ron. Oh, Ron. Oh, Ron, you better, I know you at the plantation now, brother. You better watch out. Master come around with that whip. You better, hey, I know you're in corporate America right now doing your thing. That's one of my brothers from corporate America. Mark is in the house, and Nancy and Danielle. Good morning, Jasmine. Peace to you as well. Brother John is in the house. John, Ray, we got to do a show, John. We got to do a show. Give me a call, brother. We definitely got to talk. I watched some of your videos. I appreciate your message. There's some things you need to teach me, so we need to have a conversation. Brother Bajorn is here. Brother Forrest, comedy is sunshine. Yeah, you know what? It always starts with sunshine, and that's the funny thing. As long as you show sunshine to people, they just go along with anything. As long as a dog tastes a little peanut butter, he won't know you're trying to poison him. As long as you give the cough drops to your good. When I was a kid, you know what they did for us? When I was a kid, they used to give us cough drops that taste like cherries. My mother used to poison the hell out of me. I know they don't do that no more, right? It's illegal now. They don't make cough drops taste like candy. They don't make synthetic drugs taste like candy no more. And if they did, I don't know, because I don't go to CV. I don't go to these pharmaceutical synthetic. I don't do none of. Now, don't get me wrong, because I got a few doctor friends. Don't get me wrong. If I need a medication to save my life, I'll be at the chemist's door begging. But short of that, was it Socrates? Socrates, somebody said, let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. Something like that. Something deep, real deep, brother. He also talked about Atlantis. That's what I want to talk about, but not today. I can't talk about that today. All right, who else we got? Brother Geoff is in the house. Terry, Brian, all right. Deborah, Renee, Nathaniel. Oh, whoa, okay. Oh, man, my goodness. Who the hell is picking on the plantation? All y'all watching movies. All y'all watching the crazy dude this morning. Well, y'all, what we gonna do? There gonna be no cotton industry. Y'all just all walking off the plantation. You're supposed to be Hippocrates. Thank you, Sharon. All right. Here we go. Let's get started. And Brother Kelly, welcome to the house. All right. So, a lot of things in the news this morning, but I want to start off on a happy note. Let me get out the crazy car. I want to start off on a happy question about the ancients, right? The ancients. There was something that they found all over this world. I find to be highly interesting. They found the Keystone Cuts. Y'all are familiar with that. Some of my archaeologically focused friends. I like to think back to the ancients, right? Like I like to look back at what they did, and there's just too much we don't know. There's too much we don't know about where we've come from. And I think a lot of the reason we're stuck in ignorant land and we're in the car and we think it's happy is we don't look back at the cataclysms that there was never a reason to be happy. It was bad times always was coming. It's because we don't pay attention to who's driving the car, right? We don't know that there's some psychopaths that are always driving the car. Why do I call our leadership psychopaths? Do you have any friends that if they knew they could help 20 million people who were starving, do you know it? Better yet, let's not even go there. Do you know anybody in your circles that's not on medication that if they knew two people who were starving, they would refuse to give them food? And they got a fridge and a pantry full of food. And they knew two people down the street were starving. Do you know anybody who would just say, nope, I ain't getting your damn thing? I don't know anybody like that. None of my neighbors are like that. None of my family's like that. And I don't think none of my friends like that. If I got some friends like that, I don't need to know you. But if we have world leaders that don't give a damn about Yemen enough to get some food to those people, and they could care less because they have some interest in minerals or oils, or they're friends of Saudi Arabia, or they got some tanks of airplanes or something to sell them, you're a psychopath. If you bomb children with drones, you are a psychopath. I don't care how much people like you. That means nothing to me. If you are killing kids, if you are letting people starve and you can help them, there is something wrong with your brain function. You should not be running a country, let alone a government. This is why I just got no interest whatsoever in any of the world leaders anywhere in this world, because I don't hear any of them talking about anything important. I just hear them talking about silly stuff to keep your mind off the fact that cataclysms, bad times always come, especially when you focus on money and greed, trying to collect gold, Machu Picchu, Puma Punku. All right, anyway, so look at this. I wanted to look at this real quick. The Keystone Cuts, where is that at? So all over the world, nobody knows where these things came from. Well, not that they don't know where they came from. All over the world, there were ancient technologies that were utilized, and nobody knows, where my pictures at? Nobody knows how they did it. The only thing we have, because all of these cultures all went extinct, but what we do know is that they all must have been talking. How we know, where my stuff at? How we know they must have been talking is because they utilized some of the same tools and technology, and we don't know who they were. We don't know where they went. We don't know a name for them. We don't know, all right, I'm gonna have to do this another way. I messed up, I can't find it. Let's do this. I'm gonna show you Keystone Cuts, megaliths. Somebody sent me a site, megaliths.co.uk. Woo, amazing sites, amazing site. They have some amazing pictures and videos. Keystone Cuts. What is it? Keystone. Yeah, I think it's Keystone. Keystone. I'll post a link. All right. Anyway, megalith keystones, and so all over the world they find this right here. On every continent, they find these. Let me try to get a bigger picture for you. They find the blocks that there were engraved carvings in them to allow for metal to be poured, to allow for, say they found metal in some of them. I think they found gold in others. They found even mortar in them. But all over the world, on continents where people never talked, in between continents, but they all utilized this same ability on the corners of walls to keep the stones together. And so this is one of these smoking guns, right? That in the past people had, they weren't dumb when they said things that they saw flying crafts, or they saw whatever, the treasure junks, people who circumnavigated the world. The fact that they're finding Sumerian artifacts in Bolivia. You know, we know these people are connected, and modern archaeology doesn't talk about it because there's really not an explanation for it. And I get like the professional and scientific approach that you have no idea how this happened. But what's wrong with sometimes just saying, I don't know? I don't know is a wonderful thing to say sometimes. If you don't know, just say you don't know. And the fact is, we don't know who the ancients are. We don't know who built all these massive stone megaliths. We don't know how old they are. And if we know our history, it'll prepare us for what the hell's happening in the future. And one of the biggest things is you never let a very small group of your population actually run your world or your society or your civilization. If you don't have self-determination, you'll get into some of the stuff that we're about to talk about. All right, so let's go back to Crazy Town. So that's something interesting. I like the Keystone Cuts. Take a look at them. Just another little piece of information and lots of it. I know the brother Bajoran going already. I think I see some. He had posted something already. Between that and the footprints and all of this stuff, all the cuts of tools that we can't even recognize, the drill cuts, the angles they make that we barely got lasers to do that today. That people in grass skirts with what's the hammer and the sickle? Ding, 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 ding. They actually did it that way? We were an evolved people a long time ago, and we lost all of that. And we lost all of that because I think we don't pay damn attention. We always in the car. We always think we're heading to Happy Town, and they're not taking us to Happy Town. So let me get down into the news. So a couple of things. I was talking about Brother Corbett. Okay, so if y'all watched his video, he was talking about some great stuff. And the first piece of it had to do with, try to be careful here. All right. Because I don't want to take the video down. You say something, they take your video down. I don't want to do that. So they were talking about the shooting, right? The school shooting, the one where Americans get outraged when Americans die, and they don't give a damn when everybody else dies. The news will talk about it for the next 2 weeks, but when it happens all over the world before breakfast time, it's just not interesting. So there was a sheriff, I believe his name was Sheriff Israel. A lot of y'all seen the video. Someone sent it to me. He did an interview where he explained that, you know, law enforcement, he was a sheriff. He said that we need the ability to go in, and when someone makes a social media post, we need the ability to detain them and take them in and get them checked by professionals. And so I think that had to do with the Baker Act. In the United States, we had a Baker Act, and it just basically means if someone's losing their mind, going crazy, whatever, to protect the public, to protect them, that you could detain them. I think it was like 72 hours, something like that. And so he's trying to expand it, and he wants legislators to get together. Why? Because they don't want the guns off the street, so all the fear happens and the attacks happens and they drug people, so it happens. But no one talks about the pharmaceutical aspect. But they want to get the legislators to give them the ability to read social media posts and put people in prison, or get people scanned. I said it. Get people examined. And while a lot of live streamers, a lot of people are upset with that, I'm actually not. I think it's in the wrong context. I think that we need to think about things like this, but I don't think these are things that government should run. I don't think these are things probably that the police should run. My belief has always been, and I've said it for the longest time, I totally believe that everybody needs to have brain scans. I've said it. I believe the neuroscientists are right. When you trust the science, when you look at the science and you realize that there are people around us who were raised in ways they need assistance, right? They aren't going to live a productive life. They got those warrior genes going, and they will kill people. They will rape people. They will kidnap people. They will, what did Jeffrey Dahmer do? They will eat people. They will get in government and bomb people. They will start wars. You look at the list of what psychopaths need to just exist, right? And the way I heard it explained to me is that every psychopath, you have this thing that you need. And if you don't do it, you don't get that brain chemistry, I'll mess it up and say endorphin hit, whatever. You feel like killing yourself. You feel like you hate life. You ever wake up in the morning, they call it, for some of us, they call it the barometric pressure or something. You just feel bad. You don't know why. You feel depressed and you don't like your life. Happens to everybody. Different times of your life, depending on what's going on. Dopamine, thank you, Brother Mark. And if you don't do that act, you don't get that. And so as a kid, you start off just stepping on some ants. Get that hit, but then ants aren't enough. Then you start killing gerbils, and that's not enough. Then you start shooting rabbits and shooting squirrels with a BB gun. You know what? I got a cousin. He used to shoot squirrels with a BB gun. Damn it, now I think about it. I got a cousin in California used to do that. We need to get his head scanned. I know. I'm gonna get in trouble if he watches this. But do you see where I'm going with this, right? And it leads you into, sure, I mean, it may not be, some psychopaths, they just need to make money. There's like a financial aspect where they just keep doing, they'll do whatever they can to make money, and they tend to be CEOs. Others, they just need following and people to listen to them. Maybe they become pastors of churches. Others, they go on into government and they bomb people. But it's important. Others will go to schools and shoot people. It's important. I'm not talking about whether it's false flag or not. My perspective on all of this is, I'm not there, so I can't tell you what happened. But what I do know, I'll let other people speculate. What I do know is after it's done, they use false flag type setups, right? They use disaster capitalism to get agendas pushed through. And so after this is done, now they have people talking about taking people out of their homes because someone, whoever that someone is, doesn't like their social media posts. That's wrong. Like, so I don't think it needs to be at that point. I think that I trust the neuroscientists and the behavioral scientists that they can identify these things early on. And if we live in societies where we know this person grew up in wherever they grew up, Syria, one of the countries we destabilized and destroyed for profit and fun, and we brought them to our country and they got a brain scan as a child and they realized, you know what, they've seen too many death, they've seen too much death, they've seen too much destruction. Every time they saw an American flag on a drone, it just meant somebody was going to die. This child needs some help. We're looking at their brain and we see that certain aspects of their brain aren't working. We need to help this person. I'm all for that, totally for that. But we don't do that. We don't do that because we don't get together and agree on some common sense. It's common sense to understand that war is bad. It's common sense to understand that, yes, something is wrong with our leaders. They're doing dumb stuff, psychopathic stuff that nobody else is doing. Now, of course, we only blame the kids in high school when they do shootings and the kids who tussle with the police and the kids who go to Charlottesville and fight on both sides. But we never blame the leaders. We cheer the leaders. Y'all just cheer like this. Just cheer. Get the sticker, wear it on the chest, get the bumper sticker, put it on your car, put the yard sign. Psychopath, vote for my psychopath. I want my psychopath to win. Yay! Freedom and hope and change. You know, and so I agree that we need to get people help, but it shouldn't be after they make a social media post. I think initially, everybody in public service, every single one, we need to just have a law that requires every politician have a brain scan. If you are in public service, if you are, who was the damn doctor in the Olympics that was abusing the little girls? If you are a doctor and you're seeing kids in private, if you're a pastor of a church or a minister or deacon and you're seeing people in these little confession booths or whatever you're doing, if you're a politician and you're writing laws, if you're a police officer and you're carrying a gun, if you're in the NSA or Homeland Security, if you're in any of these industries, if you are a public servant, you need to have a brain scan. There needs to be a law. And if you don't like that idea, then you shouldn't try to serve the public, because the public deserves a right to know if you don't have the ability to actually have empathy, if you don't have the ability to process love, if your frontal lobe isn't working good enough because you were abused as a kid by Harvey Weinstein type of guy, or Kevin Spacey type of guy, if you're you need a little assistance, we need to get you the help first before you serve the public. And I think a lot of these problems start to go away. So I disagree with, Israel's approach. That's all the police state and how that's all lined up to get people arguing and fighting over it, instead of just a common sense solution where it's just like, we all want to live in a safe society. Most of us know that getting the guns ain't going to do that, because most of the people we know with guns are very good people who will come to the rescue if needed. When shootings happen, we don't think about common sense. We just attack other people who weren't there and had nothing to do with it. You know, and I just believe the exact opposite. I think that, you know, you process these things from a safe direction, right? Instead of blaming the guns, and even instead of blaming the pharmaceuticals, which I think have a bigger piece in this than anything, the psychotropic drugs that they won't talk about because they get a lot of money for, Cory Booker and the rest of them. So who lives around the schools, right? Y'all remember when grandmas used to live around the schools? They sit on the front porch. Oh man, I had a great conversation. Something hits my head. There was a brother came, I was talking to him. He said, you know what? He said, America fell apart, started falling apart when we took the front porches and we started putting them on the back, right? Because when you had people on the front porch, grandma sit out there and she watch everybody go by. She'd tell you how to live, what not to do. Baby, don't step on my roses. Don't you step on, you know, Aunt Daisy. That Daisy's over there. You step on her. Oh no, I get the switch and I take care of you. When we stopped interacting, right? When we stopped talking in our country, that's when we started to fall apart because we stopped being a community. And so you look at like who lives around the schools. I think like something that actually would make some sense is maybe you give a discount to public servants who carry weapons to buy homes within a mile radius of a school, perhaps. Perhaps they get a discount on their home if they are trained with a firearm, you know? And I know some of y'all, I'm against the police state, but just imagine if we had FBI, Homeland Security, CIA, police officers, and they all were the people we used to love and know, the ones who were in our community. The police officers used to walk around and get kittens out of trees. Y'all remember that stuff? The ones we were little kids, we run up to and go bang, bang with a gun, and he'd fall on the ground, pretend like he's dead, you know, he's dying. Like the real police, like the real public servants. If we had, just imagine that we had them again for a second. If they were within the mile of the schools and they were all trained and they had, I don't know, a special phone or pager or beep or something. They make beepers anymore. I know I'm a little old, but they had some sort of notification device. And if a shooting happens in that school, instead of giving the teachers guns, all the teachers got a button on their under their desk. You know how that used to work with the, you know, the banks. You know, you can put them in a bank, you can put them in a school, a panic button. And they hit that panic button, that alert immediately goes off to all the law enforcement, all the people who live in that area who have guns that are trained with a firearm, you know, trained with a weapon. And these guys are already trained, and ladies, they all know each other and they know the plan, the process, how the school is. They got the diagram for the school. They know what's going on. Damn it, we could have automation and cameras already in the schools. They cut on, you know, they can see where the kids are running and where somebody's not running. That must be the shooter. You know exactly where he is. They could go in and take them out. There are so many things we could do with automation to make our society better. But to me, those are real solutions. Things like that. Looking at a Billy Bob or whatever y'all want to call them, a redneck or something, and blaming them and wanting to take their guns, that's not a solution. That's an argument. That's a war. We gotta argue less with people. Those people weren't there. They didn't do it. So anyway, so where's that leave? So the whole brain thing scan, I believe in the brain scan, but I think if we were people, it actually makes sense. I think we could help a lot of children, and we could make the world a safe place if we made sure that people in governments actually had the ability to process and make good decisions, have that love. That takes me to another thing I want to talk about. So we're gonna go into get oh boy, we're gonna get into the okay, here we go. Another thing I want to talk about. So I get all of these things, I get all of these messages, and I get all of these links, and I read these sites and geoengineering and stuff like that. And I really don't form opinions if I don't know. I process information and say, yeah, you know what, that could be plausible. That actually might make some sense because we all agree. And I know somebody's already, the head's already bubbling. I don't believe in no chemtrails, them contrails, you crazy, you conspiracy theorists. Number one, conspiracy theory is just a plan, and that's all it is. It's a project plan. It's not a bad thing. It just means that somebody planned something, you know? And so I don't know that they're spraying aluminum to do whatever. I don't know. I know Monsanto has patents to grow crops with aluminum, but that's a whole nother thing. I don't know if there's like something nefarious behind that. But what I do know is doctors explain very clearly what aluminum does in the brain. There have been various studies. Go out on PubMed and take a look at the studies of what the doctors are saying. Not me, not people you think are crazy, about the effect aluminum has on the brain. It's links to autism. It's links to dementia. It's links to all these mental conditions, which we know we live in a time of increased mental illness, which is still on that same topic, which I say, I don't think mental illness exists. I think your brain does what it's supposed to do when it's faced with that. And so the studies, and so there are tests, you know, in different places where people are coming in and they're saying there's a lot more aluminum in the ground. Now, does it mean it comes from, an airplane? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been in the airplane. I don't know. Do we know that government has talked about doing this? Yes, they have. You know, there are university published reports on how they can fix, you know, geoengineer and fix the climate and reduce global warming by spraying dust particles of metals like aluminum in the air. So we know that they've thought about it. But the more important thing is, before you form an opinion, right? Before you make a decision on this type of stuff, oh wait, let me show you this. Look at this. So there's a picture of, you know, does the technology exist to spray people or not people? I know, I went there. Spray massive amounts of things in the air. Yeah, we know that technology exists. Has a government ever done that? Hell yeah, they did it when Japan took over China. Just one example. United States did it too in a small town. Oh, long story. But when Japan took over China, they sprayed multiple Chinese cities with all types of compounds to just do experiments on them. They killed whole towns of people. So democide, look up democide. It happens, which is another reason why I think, I don't think it's a good idea to take the guns right now, because psychopaths run everything and they got bigger guns. But so is it plausible that airplanes are spraying stuff? It's plausible. I don't know. Is the picture behind me real? I don't know. Photoshop is good. Y'all know me. I have some fun with Photoshop. I'm not as good as Brother Damien, but I have some fun with Photoshop, you know? So it could be a Photoshop picture. But if the doctors and the scientists are telling us if the amounts of aluminum increase in the air, we are going to have increased mental illness. Isn't that something we can all agree on? Let's not put aluminum in the air. Let's make sure that we regulate companies that have aluminum dust. What if, for example, like I say stuff, people say it's crazy, but what if there were no secrecy? What if no secrecy in public servants and government and big corporations? What if there were no secrecy? You could go and do a quick search online and you say aluminum dust, and you would know exactly who's using aluminum dust. Maybe it's not airplanes. Maybe it's factories. Maybe they're producing things and they're just blowing these dust clouds, and it's coming out of smokestacks, and aluminum is taking over the environment and people are getting sick. Like, it's more important for you it's more important to make sure we're not putting more aluminum in the environment than it is for you to be right and call someone talking about chemtrails crazy, right? Like, one is based in ego, like I keep talking about. There's one based in you being right, you getting your little ego, I posted this and this, I'm so smart. And the other is in making a safer society, right? Thank you, Brother Glenn. Agent Orange, oh my God, we could talk about Vietnam all day. They sprayed hundreds of tons of chemicals on Vietnam. So they've done this, and we know they have the technology to do it. But why not, instead of debating if the airplanes are doing it, what if we just say, you know what, maybe government shouldn't have secrets. Maybe big corporations shouldn't. Maybe they're not, oh man, I hate this word. I can't ever say it right. Maybe they're not malevolent. Maybe they're benevolent. Maybe they've been killing people all over the world a long time. We know that sick people gravitate to government. Sick people gravitate towards power, right? Government is not inherently evil, but government does evil things because sick people always flock to where the power is. Churches, to me, they're not inherently evil, but sick people always flock to where they can control people because they're psychopaths. They get that dopamine hit. So let me keep going. So another thing that was delicious. Oh man, if you watch the video he posted this morning, it was amazing. Lockheed Martin. But no, we gotta go there. No, we ain't go there yet. Speaking of poisoning the air, let me see. Speaking of poisoning the air and the birds coming to attack, you know, this is we're on the road to crazy town, and that is why I think that we get off the road to crazy town when we start admitting we are on the road to crazy town, and we stop doing crazy things like asking crazy people for sane legislation. They will never give it to you. They're crazy. We didn't. All right. So let me show you this. So there a report came in. Y'all remember in Arkansas a little while back, the birds were dropping. Birds were dropping, flying, falling dead. I have to post a link. That wasn't the best picture of them. So birds just falling out the sky. Birds falling out the sky. Happened again, was it 2 weeks ago in a town called Draper? I think I got the article around here somewhere. And just birds just all started falling out the sky. So of course the media kicked in, the police came in, and the alien people came in, and everybody had their theories, you know. And so the officer came on television. I won't go through the news article because I'm pushing late, so I don't want to. It takes too much time to play a clip. But he basically said it's not aliens, people. It's not, you know, the end of the world's not coming. It's not the, you know, it's just birds fly and hit things, and they fly into buildings. And the biologist came in and said it's when the magnetic shift in the planet affects the birds' little, you know, how they navigate by using the magnetism of the earth, and that's changing. And I don't know. Damn it, I wasn't flying with the birds. I don't know. I know I'm in crazy car, but I don't get to know. And the reason I don't get to know is because we can't do a quick search and know if they're spraying aluminum dust and the birds just flew through a cloud or something somebody sprayed in the sky from an airplane. I don't know. We can't do a quick search and find out that a factory down the street is processing a chemical and they do a process and it off gases aluminum dust. I don't know. You know, I don't know if it's the aliens, right? And all the whistleblowers coming forward saying we're working on this top secret technology and we have the invisible technology, which, by the way, I think is funny because y'all said, oh, that's it. That don't make no sense. That's not no alien technology. We don't have invisible ships. And now that you got that brother in Japan, did y'all see that video? The brother in Japan who made the cloak, the invisible cloak, where he just puts the damn cloak on and the guy disappears. So this is, and if there's a dude in Japan doing it, posted it on YouTube, and it's on the news, come on. Government had that 50 years ago. If it's on YouTube now and people got it, they didn't have invisible technology. They're invisible jets over you right now. I guarantee you, because that's what psychopaths do. They lie to you so you don't have the full information, so you can't form a good decision. And so was it a top secret jet that was flying and smack ran into a group of birds and killed a whole bunch of them? Very possible. The pictures I saw where this happened just recently, there were no buildings. So I don't know how they ran into buildings. They hit something happened, they died, but it's not a thing again. Why would I fight with you and say it's a cloaked alien ship? It's a cloaked, you know, Air Force jet. It's coming out of the factory down the street because my husband used to work there and I didn't like the supervisor. He's a jerk. I know they were up to something. What if it just makes sense that we shouldn't have secrets in a society where we have technology that's like can kill the planet? You know, it's just like, oh man, I hate to go back to gun control, but it's like going to a government that puts hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars into making AI killer robots to kill and murder people indiscriminately and make those decisions out there, and asking them to control guns in your own country. Does that make any damn sense? And I'm not saying anything about you. I'm not. I'm just, my perspectives are, I have diverse friends, right? And my goal is to learn. And they teach me an awful lot. We post stuff, I read all my comments, we go through stuff. And I think we're starting to form like some sort of general opinions that are common sense. You form a community that has something in common, which is evolving the human race, making smart decisions. You evolve something that we used to have called common sense. But if you don't have a community, you can't have common sense. And to me, the common sense here is, I don't know what happened to the birds. I don't know what they're spraying in the sky. I do know that we are on the road to crazy town. And when you got secrets, you can't form a good opinion. So anyway, keep on going. EMP, brother Glenn, thank you. Could be an EMP. I don't know. You know, government could be playing with EMP technology, but we don't get to know because we too stupid. We just running around playing on smartphones and tiddlywinks and fighting with another political party or some rednecks over some guns and just silly, dumb stuff that never, ever gets anywhere instead of focusing on the bigger picture. And this is the problem with being I'm going to call him an American racist. I'm talking about America for a little while. an American nationalist racist, right? When I say nationalist, you think I'm talking about the right. No, I'm actually talking about the left. I'm talking about the people who only give a damn when Americans die. That's no different than what you say they're racist on the other side. You know, if you focus on the bigger picture, if it's about saving all human life, government can't have secrets. If you see that they are investing in AI robots and they are investing in devices to kill you, then maybe perhaps you'll realize they don't give a damn about you. So speaking about not giving a damn about you, something else. Lockheed Martin. So if y'all watch the Corbett Report, like I gotta get drink coffee. Speaking of Lockheed Martin, y'all, if you ever come to America, the UK too. I went to London. Oh my God. And this was like this was about 10 years ago. I went to London, long time ago. They had cameras everywhere. They got my black booty all over, just databases all over the UK. And I was only there for a week or something. Cameras every damn where. You look up at every stoplight, there's cameras everywhere. Like, I'm scared to go to toll booths now because there's so many damn cameras and devices and boxes and wires and just crazy crap. I didn't went and got the easy pass because I want to drive through so I get less radiation than having to stop and sit there and got cameras all up my butt. Y'all don't need to know what my butt look like. So, but anyway, guess whose cameras those are? They're Lockheed Martin's. Did you know that? Did you know that the biggest contracts in the United States, and probably your country too, because this is how this all works. I don't think countries exist. I think you just got contracts and businesses, but they have the contracts for the stoplight, for the stoplight cameras, and the lights. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Well, this is what he was talking about this morning, is that apparently 6 cities were caught playing with the yellow lights because they now have speeding tickets. And this was, I guess it was a big thing in Ohio, where they said it's unconstitutional to play with the yellow light. If you play with the yellow light, if you make it go, if you shorten the time of the yellow light, people won't make it before it goes red, which means that if you got a camera there to take a picture of the license plate, you can make an awful lot of money giving speeding tickets or red light tickets, and you don't have to actually be there. So apparently everyone, or a lot of people, stood up in Ohio. They did this weird thing, y'all. It was called getting together. They had unity. It was the craziest thing on the planet. And they sued and they said this is unconstitutional. And they won. No one had to pay. But 6 states got caught doing this. And the links are to Lockheed Martin playing with the yellow light. So outside of the fact that it's for money, right? It's how they make money. Money, once again, is determining the future and our safety. So you think about sure, it's not just about making money. You say, greed is a bad thing and greed is bad, worse than that. You think about what happens when you mess around with stoplights. You think about all the accidents that have happened. You think about all the people who have been killed in car accidents because they reduced the yellow light. They didn't make the red and somebody else slammed into them. We all know people who died in car accidents. This isn't about speeding tickets, right? None of this is about silly stuff. Now, money is an issue. That's what it's about for them. And they don't give a damn about you because they don't care how you die. That's why they don't care about your gun control. All of this stuff is all related. It's why they don't care about your health care. It's why you don't have universal health care. You got for-profit health care, and they did it in a way so the other side would fight you because they said they had to pay for it. But they can print money all day long. They can print money all day long to kill and murder people all over the planet. But they won't print a dime for you because they don't work for you. Their job is to make you think they work for you. And they're doing a wonderful job because you're still marching in the streets like they got your back. You're still talking to them instead of voting them out. Instead of, like we talked about, nullification yesterday. Instead of just saying, nope, we're done with the federal government. We're going to nullify everything you did that's unconstitutional. Instead of getting behind that, I see people already cheering the next president. Which is, it's the scariest thing. Why are we in the car to crazy town? But why are we in the car to crazy town? Because the car to crazy town is sunny. It feel good. Sun on your face. Vitamin D. You put your head back. Let the sun come in. It feel real good. Because they make you think that life is good. You got a good education. Got a nice home. You ignore the fact that people all over the world and people in your country and little hidden spots have some real horrible stuff happening to them. All right. So I'm going to keep going. But it's all related, which is crazy as all get out. So I offered, so the people though, the people who think I'm crazy and they want all guns off the street. They think it's a wise idea for the government to have all the tanks, the bombs, guns, drones, everything, the psychopaths to control all of that, and we all supposed to just be defenseless. For the people who are like that, I did offer a solution. So if you really, really believe that, try peaceful gun control. And this was a thought I had the other day. So you know what? So why don't y'all try something where you offer $50,000 for every assault rifle? Let's just say you want to get so you really think that people are going to stop being murdered by getting assault rifles out of America. Offer $50,000 for assault rifle, and I guarantee you, I guarantee you will get 99% of all the assault rifles out. Now, mind you, your politicians will make sure the black market gets them all right back in, but you will get them out. And it's a peaceful way to do it. It's a non-violent solution. And people say, that's going to cost too much money. That's going to cost, we don't have the money to. They print the money the printing presses are running right now for the $200 billion they just got for more wars. They got all the money. They have endless amounts of money because they print it. They can print the money, do any damn thing they want. They could print the money and get every assault rifle off of the street. Well, no, it's not the 1%. 1% gonna keep, because the 1%, well, the 1% gonna keep their assault rifles because they intend to shoot you. That's what they're not giving theirs up. Their bodyguards gonna keep them. And a few people who understand that, you know, they're gonna come for us eventually. Those brothers, they're gonna keep at least one. We're gonna get the vast majority. And that may, and a lot of times, and I don't look too much into them, but a lot of times when these kids get these assault rifles and do stuff, usually it's because it's sitting in a closet, nobody using it, dad's not home, whatever. He used to have it, not paying attention. Or it was at a gun show where somebody sold it for $300. Yeah, I've been to the gun show. I love guns. I do. I'm not going to say if I own any because it's not your damn business, but but I'm not on any side. If everybody came together tomorrow and said, you know what, let's get rid of the Second Amendment, I'm okay with that. I'm a part of a community. I think we stupid. I think we dumb, and we all gonna die. But I live in a democracy, and I'll go along with that. But try peaceful solutions. If you want to do gun control, they got the money, and if they say they don't have the money, just say you're lying. I think we all gonna die because if you take the guns from the hillbillies, we done. You take the guns from the Crips and the Bloods and the people who against the establishment. Now they do other dumb things too, but at least they'll be on our side in this. We gonna be in big trouble. All right. What else? So I don't know why they call them bloody. So the whole bloody nose strike. Again, that's the same thing. It's just gun control. But you know what? How crazy this is, though. The idea that every administration we get in, they all openly talk about a war crime, and there's no outrage. A bloody nose strike. You know what that's going to do? That's going to kill hundreds, if not thousands, of people, and it's going to start World War III. Because North Korea is going to shoot back, China's going to get behind them, China gets behind them, Russia's going to get behind them, and the next thing you know, we are in a really bad place because we were in the car heading to crazy town, but it was nice and sunny out, so we didn't stop the train. We had to fight with somebody over some lollipops or something that happened. We had to be right and shut down the flat earther so he hates me and he won't come out and when I have some sort of gathering to nullify some of these bad federal laws. But okay. What else we got? We're running out of time, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the stone circles. We're not gonna do this. So let me do this. Let me go back to, so we are in a car in developed countries. We are heading to Crazy Town, and we're happily in the back playing Game Boy. I know that's showing my age, but we're happy in the back playing the smartphone. Just texting, having fun. Oh, girl, yeah, you gonna go do the protest? Yeah, we gonna go protest. We gonna go do this. Instead of getting the information and actually know what's going on in the world, we're not paying attention. So, all right, what other thing? Revolution, nullified. Posted a video yesterday. I want you to follow the 10th Amendment Center, you guys. The 10th Amendment is our love way out of all of this crap. We do need to bring the federal government to a heel in our country, maybe in some of your other countries. I don't know if you guys have stuff like this, but we need to bring them to a heel and redesign it to be a safe government for human life. So let me do that. I'm gonna look at the comments now. I went off, ran my mouth. We'll go back here. Whew, that was a lot. All right, how's everybody doing? All right, what do we got? You seriously think the government will kill you if you don't have a gun? But Jordan asked that. Do I think the government will kill me if I don't have a gun? No, I don't. I don't. I think a psychopath will kill me if I don't have a gun. So, and if psychopaths are running the government, I think they're capable of anything. I think that I live in a country where profit is king. Profit determines everything, right? Like, so with the stoplights, they'll allow people to die in car accidents every day and Sunday, and they don't give a damn as long as the state or somebody's making some money out of it. These companies don't care. So it's not that they hate me or they're trying to get me. We're going to go get the little ball guy. I don't think they want to come get me. I just think that they want to make money, and they're required to make money. It's a law here with the SEC that corporations have to make a profit for their boards, or it's criminal. So I think that they won't come kill me if I don't have a gun, but I know that I don't want to not have one, just in case they decide to change their mind. In case Lockheed Martin comes up to say, hey, listen, I got some money for you. Monsanto comes up to. So to me, it's just, you know, like the way, and I get a lot of people who don't live in America, how things are orchestrated. We had some people called the Founding Fathers, right? And they saw a time with kings and lords that were just out in public, killing people, murdering people, prima nocta, taking people's wives and raping them before marriage, things like that. And so they were very paranoid. And so they said, everybody has to have a damn gun so everybody can have some freedom. So we never have a federal government that has a standing army, a king with swords that can come kill us and tell us what to do on our land so we can live free. So I think we can get to a time in civilization where there is no murder. That is totally possible. And it's not crazy talk, right? When you look at the bonobos, you look at dogs being man's best friend, you look at all these other creatures that were wild, that were murderous, and now they don't have to murder for resources or food or money. They're very happy and they're very loving. You can kick your dog all day long and he'll still come up to your leg and sleep by your bed at night, right? Why? Because we solved abundance. We solved the reason why they murdered. And all of this for me is we can solve why murder happens. But my personal belief, you can't let the lords and the kings have weapons that allow them to make massive profits. They'll always come for the profits, right? So that's my belief on it. But like I said, I'm a part of a community. You know, I go with whatever people want to do, and I think we should get rid of the guns. But I think the government needs to get rid of the guns first. Like that's what I would get behind. I would get behind some sort of thing where the Second Amendment stays in place, but the government stands down, right? The police, the FBI, the CIA, all of these companies, they use non-lethal weapons, right? They take out the reason for people to have that fear. And if they make that example, right, they stop the wars. They make an example that, you know what, we can live in peace. Then every generation there will be less guns and less guns and less guns, and then it just goes away. And then but that's the right way to do it. You lead by example. And if these people are our leaders, then giving up the guns, it starts with them. They are the real threat. Outside of any, to me, that's a logical thought. Outside of the fact that they're the ones always killing people. They're the ones who are murdering everybody. They are the psychopaths that obviously don't care. You know, and it's not that they're bad people, they're just psychopaths. And we live in a system that requires sick people to be in those positions, right? Because political parties need money. How do they get money? They get it from corporations. How do they get it from corporations? Because they write laws that benefit those corporations' profits. And why do they do? And who are the only people who would do that? Psychopaths, right? Psychopaths. So, all right. Man, and you go to the right city, somebody will kill you for 50 bucks. Right? Somebody who needs food, you can go pay someone to kill someone else for 50 bucks. The idea that a government won't do it for 50 billion or 50 million or 50,000 so they can keep their job, their career, or their political party gets funded or they don't get voted out, they do it every single day. That's kind of what I'm thinking. To me, that sounds logical. Yes, Crystal, we need to nullify everything. Let me look at the comments. Psychopaths create new ways to kill things daily. That's what they do. Yes, Brother Glenn, is what they do. Psychopaths don't need positions. They don't need power. They don't need guns and drones. Psychopaths need nice little jacket. Not all of them. Not all of them, right? Because we know being a psychopath is a spectrum. There are very functioning psychopaths who run companies who are very good, ethical people. We have psychopaths that are moms and dads that are very good parents. But there are certain ones who are that dopamine hit response that they get. It comes from doing something that we don't want in our society, right? We don't want war. If you are a psychopath that's fed by war and devastation and rape, kidnapping, hurting children, things like that, we already know who you are. We know we can scan your brain. The neuroscientists can find you, but you're protected because the scan can't happen. But those are the people they need help, right? Brother Glenn, they don't need weapons. They don't need pens. I mean, the pen kills more people than the assault rifle. Why would you go to people who kill more people with a pen than an assault rifle and ask them for help with the assault rifles? I don't know how that makes sense to me. So anyway, the cloud pic behind you is a Circus Fabratus radius cloud, a natural formation. Hey, could be. I don't know, brother. But I do appreciate the information. I do appreciate the information. It was. Let me go back to the cloud. This was the cloud. Where the cloud at? People didn't see it. That cloud right there. Could be. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if the aluminum's coming from a factory, if it's coming from airplanes, if it's coming from the airplanes just falling apart, the aluminum on the wing or the aluminum inside the fuel tank. It's just a complete accident. Could be all of that. You know, may not be coming from the sky at all. Could be leaking out through the waterways. I don't know. But I think, you know, it could be gasoline, or it could be something that comes from the cars we drive. You know, if people are finding aluminum, the studies are finding increased aluminum all over the planet, like I said, and increased aluminum in our brains is what's causing the autism, the Alzheimer's, the dementia. Not that is what's causing, but we know factually that it is a factor in some of those cases, if not all of the cases. Then there should be no secrets for who's using aluminum dust. There shouldn't be a government that has classified and redacted information that we don't know what they're up to. There shouldn't be a corporation experimenting on these things that the general public doesn't know about. Because if you're walking around, the last doctor I heard was a lecture, I'll post it. The last doctor I heard talk about it was Dr. Russell Blaylock, MD. He is he's actually got a YouTube channel. He talks about, you know what? Yeah, guy played this for a second.
YouTube videos, and they were saying that they were dropping one of the ingredients was aluminum. Well, I had done a fair amount of writing and research on the effect of aerosolized chemicals in the nose when you breathe them, and what we knew was that these particles tend to travel along the olfactory nerves, which are the smell nerves in the nose, and it travels directly to the part of the brain that has to do with memory and emotions, the hippocampus, the entorhinal area, and the prefrontal cortex, and that you can trace these chemicals traveling along that nerve and depositing in this area of the brain. The other thing that was known is that if you aerosolize aluminum, it's one of the metals that passes very easily along this track and directly into the brain, so it bypasses the blood-brain barrier and goes directly into the brain and accumulates. Well, if you do it in animals, it produces lesions or damage in that area of the brain, and the animal will begin to show changes of memory and learning and emotional changes.
All right, I'm gonna stop there. Okay, did you hear that? You couldn't see the video, but the guy was official. He's what we call a doctor. Okay, he can say a lot of big words, hippocampus and blood-brain barrier, a lot of crazy, real professional words. But the point is, when doctors come out and they start saying this, and they've taken the animals and they've used aluminum and they've created these memory and tumor and Alzheimer and autism type conditions in animals, there should be no debate. That's my standpoint. There should be no debate. This is a issue that 7 billion people should say nobody should be playing with aluminum dust anywhere ever, because clouds travel. They spread all over. And so that's kind of my point. Are chemtrails real? I don't care. I don't. Are they real? I don't care. if anybody's playing with aluminum dust and nobody should have any secrecy, we should know because they shouldn't have the ability to have secrecy. We should be mature, grown up, and adult enough that we live in a world that where you have technology and you can murder millions, if not billions of people. We should be smart enough that we're not fighting over lollipops. And we are saying we need to know the source of where all this is, because aluminum is prolific in the environment, but apparently aluminum dust is not. And if they're finding this all over the place, we got to get an answer for that. You know, it's not important that I fight with somebody over flat earth. B Moore was doing that too. Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore was on the list. They were on the list of those companies, brother Mark, that was actually using the cameras, playing around with people's lives. Like, let me show you this picture, because to me, pictures make me process it a little more. Like, you look at this picture and you ask yourself the question, what if there was a little kid in that car, right? I don't know that that accident was caused by a stoplight, but it's a visual. Do you want corporations running this world? Do you want corporations running your state? Do you want corporations and profit actually determining who lives and dies? This is the world we live in. This is why all of this is so important. Let me jump off of chemtrails. Ooh, that's my mama calling. I can't answer. Mama, I can't answer right now. I'm talking to people. Mama, we trying to say the word. My mama called me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to say the world, Mama. You can't call me right now. We got a few more important things right now to talk. I know I got work to do around the house. I have to go down and see my mama. Let me see. Had that happen in Chicago to me, Sister Mary. Okay. Yes, they're dating and cheering on a new president when they should be dialing the phone and calling a representative. Yes, brother Mark, this is not the time to cheer and to be cheering. This is why I don't cheer. I'm not cheering Jill Stein. I'm not cheering Gary. I'm not cheering Trump. I'm not cheering Clinton. I'm not cheering the next politician, the next player to put in place to do the same damn thing. If we don't fix the reason why they all do the same damn thing, then it's pointless whoever you put in place. So I think we got to really think about some good stuff, some logical common sense type conversations we need to have. But you only have that if you stop fighting with people, right? You only have that if you stop fighting with white nationalists and you ask them, why do you hate me? Right? You only ask that if you go out and you reach out to people who are different than you. You got to get more love in your heart and less ignorance out your, or more love in your heart and a lot of ignorance out your brain. Less ignorance in your brain, more love in your heart. Stop acting with your brain so damn much. Not up there, not a whole lot up there anyway, y'all. Listen, who was it said? It said we 99%, I forgot who said it. We're 99% ape. So whether you think we come from, I'm good with that. But if we got 98% ape DNA, we some monkeys, y'all. We some monkeys. We dating monkeys, we're marrying monkeys, we're just all kind of stuff with monkeys. And the monkeys are actually, they're a little smarter than we are, but we some monkeys, because y'all think monkeys are stupid. We need to make more decisions with our heart and less decisions with our brains. And plus, what's in your brain is just the result of your experience in the data you have anyway. And that's all ignorance is. It's a lack of that, because people don't talk and they're all divided up in these silly little groups. They don't talk. And so you're not as smart as you. I'm not as smart as I need to be. You're not as smart as you need to be. So let's not fight. Let's just talk. I change my mind all the time. Why? Because I have a right to. I'm mostly monkey, damn it. I'm 98% monkey. Who the hell am I to not change my mind? I'm wrong. My friends make me wrong. And when I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. I was wrong about Jill. Well, I don't know I was wrong about Jill. I was upset. I saw that post come out. I was pissed that night. I was like, what did Jill say? And I flipped out. I'm not going to talk about that again. And sister, I forgot who the sister came in, and she's like, well, but pay attention to the fact that if you listen to the whole thing, she's still saying the same thing, anti-government, hurt Russia, whatever. So she's contradicting, and she shouldn't have said that. But if you look at the whole message, something else is going on. I was like, damn, you're right. Something else going on. What else is going on? We started thinking about the investigation. She's being investigated. So anyway, not going to talk about that again. That's why your birth certificates are a bond. Yes, brother Mark. That's it. And that's a deep one, too. Another theory about how we're just all cattles on the farm. We're all, and the whole social security number, we're all owned by Britain or something like that. Something deep. I have to spend more time looking at that. Hold on, let me move down. The comments are kind of flowing kind of fast. Machu Picchu, yes it is. They will scare you and sell you a gun They will come to kill you. Yeah, which is why they want the guns on the street. The biggest proponents are the ones who are saying we need to do gun control. They want the guns on the street because their job is to get on the mic and say we need gun control because they wrote a book about gun control. But damn it, they want the guns on the street because if people keep getting shot, then they can keep selling books. That's why I'm saying form your own opinions, make your own decisions, and look at that in the future. Did we ever do that in the past? And think about the future of that. Will that actually work? Or will it just destabilize things more? I have knittings and needles for self-defense. All right, Rebecca, I didn't know you were a ninja. I'm not gonna mess with you. With nukes, we don't need guns. So there, yeah, with nukes, we don't need guns. And in World War III, it will not be fought with guns. It's what did wise man once said? So we don't know what weapons World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. That's what we're talking about. These countries don't use guns anymore. When we get into a world conflict, the nukes will fly. It is a guarantee. Government needs to get rid of drones as well. Yes, Rochelle, government needs to get rid of everything. Governments have proven through democide and war that they do not have the right to have weaponry. Period. No government. Democide is the study of governments killing citizens. And it was a study that showed that the biggest threat to citizens in every government that I saw the study for was their own government. The biggest killer of citizens are their own governments. People don't like to think about that because it's a scary thing to think about. But the problem is, as an adult, if you don't think about the scary things, you can't make good decisions. Where else are we at? Crime pays some if you pay. Crime pays some if your pay is off crime. If your pay is off crime and misery, you want more. Make an order and pass a bill. Yeah, I think you're going with the psychopath stuff there, Jimmy. Same thing, right? You get a dopamine response from stealing from somebody, so you can't stop stealing. And it's just like you got a house full of stuff you stole from people. You don't need a 10th Betamax, but you go steal it anyway because that's how you get your kicks. That's how you feel like life is worth living. How did all the high school kids protesting in DC get all of a sudden organized and find the D? How did the high school kids protesting in DC get all of a sudden organized? You know, Jeannie, I don't know. But you know, I think behind all of this stuff, because none of it makes sense to me. And when things don't make sense, I smell conspiracy. And I think that I think the kids were there because they're passionate, they're good human beings, and they don't like seeing people shot and murdered. I mean, most of them were probably college and they weren't recently out of high school. So they're seeing pictures of their friends in their minds are the ones, you know, that they're showing on television. But to me, there's always, if it doesn't make any sense and the solutions don't make sense, then there's something wrong. It smells wrong. They call it a little funky in the coffee. You smell some funky coffee, don't drink it. Don't drink it. This coffee don't smell funky. This comes from Vermont. Thank you, by the way. You know, but if it smells funky, then don't get behind, don't support it. That's why you really won't see me at any rallies. I used to organize protests. You won't see me at any right now because right now is not the time to be in the street. We don't even know what the hell is wrong with the world. We don't even know what we're going to do next. I have my ideas. You got your ideas. And we need to agree on these ideas. Otherwise, getting in the street is pointless. It shows that there's passion and there's concern, which is wonderful, but we need a plan, people. We need a plan and not a progressive plan that's just one side, right? A progressive plan written by progressives is not a progressive plan. That's called a one-way forced violent solution through legislation. If you get the right and the left, people were right. I don't say right and left because y'all not right and left. Y'all are too smart for that. If you get people who are right-minded and right-focused and people who are left-focused and left-minded, get them agreeing to something, you got something, right? That's how you fix a country. That's how you get real legislation that's not based on giving corporations stuff and taking rights. That's legislation that the people actually want, and you'll have the numbers to force it to happen, or you vote the bums out of office. That's how you bring some change about in a peaceful way. But getting out there yelling and screaming at other poor people in the street, right? If you don't have $1 billion in the bank, you're poor. Poor people in the street yelling at other poor people is dumb. You got the same problems. I don't get that. Like Chris, I was watching Brother Chris all day. Brother Chris had like an 8-hour live stream. I was watching that. I was having a good old time. He was just nailing stuff. We had a lot of fun. Y'all should follow Brother Chris. It's because the government isn't ran by the people. It's ran by profits. Brother Andrew, another great live streamer. Thank you. The government's run by profits. Profits running what your children become in the future is really a bad idea. It's like kindergarten. I don't know why we got to like say it so much before it really sink in that profit dictating where your kids go, how they live, what they become. It's really a bad freaking idea. And to me, there's nothing more important that you got to say about changing anything else until we fix the problem that profits dictating every damn thing. And I think that's what 7 billion people all have in common. Like Dr. Oz. Oh, Andrew, I didn't know Dr. Oz talked about chemtrails. I didn't know that. I listen to him every now and then. Brother Bajorn said, I hear cars are unhealthy. Cars are unhealthy. You know what? When I'm driving behind a car and I always have the external air on and the gas fumes start coming in, I turn it off. When like get behind a car, you can just smell it all coming in. And it's crazy for 2 reasons, Bajorn, 2 reasons that I recently was paying attention to. One, they're doing studies now where you can get a test for how much gasoline is in your blood, how much gasoline is in your system. And apparently we all have it. Anyone who lives in a metropolitan area or suburban area, you all have gas in your blood. Gas is a carcinogen. So if you have enough of it, you're going to die, right? If it gets lodged in the wrong place, like in your, was it pancreas that got, what is his name? The billionaire, Steve Jobs, gets lodged in your pancreas. All the money in the world won't save your life. All the natural food and health won't save your life. Yes, natural food empowers your immune system to break down tumors and cancerous cells and granulomatous conditions. However, if it gets lodged in the wrong spot and your body can't do anything about it, you can try all kinds of things. There's light therapy, there's all types of stuff. But my belief is you get that wrong thing lodged in the wrong spot, you're going to die from everything I understand. You can be as natural as you want to be. The goal is to have a healthy, strong immune system to stay that off as much as possible. And 2, get those bad things out of your environment. So hell yeah, cars are healthy. And the other thing is the brake dust. Talk about the studies in the metropolitan areas, the cities where on the furnitures, I think it was in New York, where they're finding a lot of the dust isn't human skin. Because they say 99% of dust is human skin in the house. A lot of their dust is actually brake dust from the cars that floats up through the airways. So close your damn windows if you live in the city, if they let those windows open up anymore. All right, I'm gonna come down to the end, last couple comments, and I'm gonna get off of here. Jasmine said, answer your mama. I'm gonna call my mama right back. Just come on, you know. I'm gonna talk to her. I'm not gonna listen. My mama brought me in this world. She'll take me out. I love my mama. I'm gonna take care of mama. I call her right back. And plus, y'all can't hear the conversation I have with my mom. Y'all not allowed to hear that conversation. Shoot, she might be upset at one of my brothers. Shoot, she might have to say something honest and true. I don't want that in the public. What else we got? People need to travel outside this country and get perspective. Yes, Rochelle, and that's a biggie. That is such a biggie. It's not just talking to different people in America, but it's talking to different people around the world, right? You got to do some travel, and if you can't do any travel, make some friends in Gaza. But don't just do that. Make some friends in Israel. Make some friends in the Congo. Make some friends in Nigeria. So I got a whole lot of Nigerian friends. They love the internet now, apparently. And they want you to send them money. You know, make a lot of friends anywhere you can and get some rounder perspective. Get a global perspective. We got to get to a spot where we're global citizens and not these little ignorant ghetto media single-minded citizens. We need to be global citizens. I hear you, brother Joel, with the false flag. I don't get too much into the false flags. Number one, like I said, they delete your video and they won't let it post. They'll censor the hell out of you. And number 4, at 3, 4, I forgot how many I said. The bottom line is we don't really know what happened, but we know after it happens, we know that they lie and they add to it and they make it worse and they try to write laws and take rights. And it's never really good laws. It's always on this concept of helping, but the laws are bad. And so I focus on the parts that we know. In the aftermath of this stuff, we need good laws. We do have things to fix. So I think we should focus more on fixing the laws or making sure we make a safer society and less on what had happened, because they own that. They own the media, they own social media, and they're going to own the narrative. And the majority are always going to believe what goes on CNBC, Fox, MSNBC, and CNN, and all the news stations. So fighting that to me is like pointless. I like to focus on the false flag legislation that comes afterwards, as opposed to whether or not it's a false flag or to what degree or whatever. Solutions, y'all. We got to be solution minded. Try to see if I missed any comments from somebody that I haven't addressed. Students are being used for the gun agenda. Yes, Austin, they are, and they always have been. Students and kids are always used. They're always used because it's about experience, right? We don't, and it's not their fault. It's our fault because we don't teach them. We don't teach them the bad times. Like I remember my grandfather telling me about the Great Depression. Now there was a lady down the street from his house in El Dorado, Arkansas, where she was cooking with Vaseline because there was no lard, there was no fat to cook with. So she was cooking with Vaseline. She was cooking with a carcinogen. Bad times are bad, and that's why the elders pass down stories so we can pass them down, so the kids can say, "Wow, what the heck? Why would I go to Washington and ask them about peace? Why would I lay out?" And I'm not saying he shouldn't have done it. I'm just saying perspective. The people looking out of the windows in Washington, Congress looking out the blinds, little bastards. Looking out the blinds like, oh, damn it, look at them dummies. Boy, they don't get it. They didn't watch Ty's video. They don't understand. We just don't give a damn how they die, but let them stay out there. And I got to go on camera, you little bastards. Let me go on camera to get on camera. Get some tears. You know, try. We're really sad, and we're going to do something about it. And it's all a lie. These people don't care. They kill people every day. We need solutions. What you need to do, don't fight with the hillbilly. You need to go talk to them. Say, well, why you got your gun? What's going on? He'll tell you, well, my mama told me a story. They came and they took my land and whatever. They're not going to do it again. You know, okay, well, you know, let's figure out with the land, what's going on with the land, what's happening with the land. Oh, you got to pay taxes on your land? Why you got to pay such high tax on your land? Okay, but right, so they took your land and we shouldn't have property taxes, right? Oh, okay, because America got started because we didn't want the taxes. Oh, so you can't have your land to do whatever you want without the kings and the lords, and somehow they tricked us into paying taxes for land again? Okay, well, damn it, look, let's do this. Let's get the taxes out. Let's work together. Let's stop this property tax craziness. So because it's forcing you to work and forcing you to go, and you just want to live your life. Okay, I get that. You make a new friend. You learn something. You actually get behind something that will want less people to feel safe, less people to have a reason to buy an assault rifle, if that's what you really want. But if you just want to be on TV, you want to sell books, you want a career, you want to be outraged, then I can't say anything to you. I don't understand how that works in your brain. Me, I don't like people dying, and I don't like it, especially when it's kids. All right, let me go down. I gotta get down. I'm way over time. We are on the break. We all see the break film. Oh, we all see the brake film on your rims. Okay, right. Yeah, it is. I used to change the brake pads. I don't do that no more. I had a Volkswagen Bug. I used to change my brake pads all the time. Then I had a sports car. I changed them all the time on that one too. And I try not to breathe when I'm doing it, but now that we know, we got to step it up. So, all right, last couple comments and I'm gonna be done. I didn't see anything from Deborah. If you are old, then make some friends in England and Ireland and Germany and other European countries and Australia. The perspective is eye-opening for those of us who have not traveled. Yes, it is, Deborah. Yes. Oh, I can tell some stories. Boy, I can tell some stories. You know who showed me that you actually can talk back to your betters? Someone who showed me you could talk back to your the kings and the lords was the UK. I used to work for this company. I won't say what industry. I try not to get in trouble, but it was largely based in the UK. And we'd travel over there and they'd come over here and we'd work together in the office. And I would just sit there and watch people in the UK cuss their bosses out. And that's when I really started to realize that we are slaves in the United States. We can't talk to our betters that way. They would just, this is bull crap. Now I'm knackered of this. Right? Knackered. You know what knackered means in the UK? It means they're tired. I didn't know that. I thought it meant naked when he yelled it. I was like, why is he naked? He's naked of this? How does that make any sense? They speak a funny language. They sound real intelligent when they talk, though. But he flipped out, cussed the boss out, and I'm like, whoa, did you see how he's talking to Massa? He said that to the supervisor. Oh, they's gonna whip him. They's gonna get him. And I'm just, but I really processed that we're not free here. We can't speak that way, because you speak that way, you get fired, and then you lose your lifestyle. So, all right, I'm done with that. So the message of today, as we leave, I think I got everybody at the last minute. Okay, I think I got it. My message for the day before we leave is the road to crazy town always starts good, always starts wonderful. There are flowers on the side of the road, the sun is out, people singing, girls dancing in the car, everybody happy, and the guys, six-pack, abba-dabbas, thongs, everybody happy, drinking Kool-Aid. But if you don't pay attention to the canary in the coal mine, you don't pay attention to where this is really going and why they make it all seem so fluffy and delicious, we gonna end up here. We gonna end up in crazy town. And if you look in her eyes, that woman don't mean you no good. And she gonna take you right to where the psychopath wants to take you. It's a big mistake to let psychopaths run your world. Money can't decide everything, because you in this car and we all in this car. We see it differently, but we all in this car and we all gonna die. Anyway, y'all have a good day. Yes, I'm about to call my mama. Leave me alone. Love y'all. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.